Bada bing, bada bong, bada bong, bada bing. What is that? Bing bong. That's Hi, welcome to Talks with T. I just want to start by saying I really at the start of this week had a very motivational, very like themed podcast idea. I was like, this is what I'm going to talk about. I want to talk about this. I think it's important. I was going to go into my motivational speaker, my inspirational Teona, but T Money is coming out on this podcast today because I wish I could make up half the shit that happens in my life, but I can't because, I'm not about being demure or mindful. I mean, I am, but I'm chaotic. I'm fun. And I live for the plot. And I'm just, I thought I'm all for the adventure. And that's exactly what happened. And some of it wasn't even planned. So sorry, guys. This is like so embarrassing. Think about being mindful, obviously. So I have long hair, guys. No, seriously, like I literally feel it. Give me. Okay, we're good now. So anyways, as you all know, I have two brothers, and my middle brother is just like me, but crazier. But he has a spontaneous gene. So about like a week after I came back from Puerto Rico, my brother reaches out and he's like, first of all, I want to just start off this whole little spiel with my brother has been a Jets fan since the day he was born. And one thing I've learned is the Jets suck, but there's the beauty of their awfulness. That's even a word. Is that you show up. New Yorkers, we show up. So my brother being one of those supportive Jets fans, he loves the Jets. And so he wants, goes to the games, watches it. If you've ever seen Irakli watch the Jets or football in general, he's like literally like chest up to the TV staring at it. This is probably why he has eye problems, but he's freaking staring at it and thinking it's going to change any of the outcome, but it doesn't. So seeing him from growing up, seeing him at like watching the TV to like in person, it was like wild to me. I think he's actually calmer at a game, maybe because there's other people around him, but like he was, I've seen some things, I got videos. So he texts me and he's like, hey, like, what are the chances that you would want to go to San Francisco to watch the 49ers and Jets game? And at the time, and this was like very last minute, this was like, I want to say like 6 days, a week maybe. And I just got back from Puerto Rico. Like I'm still in this like, so I'm like, okay, I don't think it's going to happen because I had a work obligation. So I didn't think I was like, no, I won't be able to. And then like come to find out like 4 days later, actually I am able to if you still want to go. So I text him, I'm like, yo, if you still want to go, like I could actually go now. And next, me and Kezi are together. He's like, tell your friend to come. So we all just pull up. And it was such an experience, let me tell you. So again, Irakli, spontaneous, literally goes from, I think it was North Carolina on a flight to San Fran, like just for the night. So I was like, all right, we got to do this. So then we were like, we're driving down. We're going to make a road trip out of it. So we leave Monday morning. Again, everything's like the drive down was phenomenal. We're just bopping and, starting off the road trip like with 6 different pumpkin spice coffees from Starbucks. Like they made my order wrong, so they made it again, and then they gave me the other. And we're just like sitting there with like 6 different coffees. We're vibing. We're loving it. Singing God Bless the Broken Road. I don't even think we sang that. I think we sang like, oh, Jesse's Girl. Like Jesse's Girl is my song. Also, fun fact, if I'm tired and you need to wake me up or get me like going, like we're going out, just play Guess by Billie Eilish and like Charlie XCX. I will literally like, something resurrects in me. I'm like, you want to guess the color of my underwear. And I get into this accent. Like it's literally like my favorite song. Like that song needs to win for the Grammys next year. It just needs to win something because I'm not kidding. Like it is a drug. Like it is a natural drug for me. I don't like that. Just like bop it, lock it, polka dot it. So back to what I was saying, we're bopping. We get a Rockley. The vibes are good. We fill up the car with, you know, a good case of stuff. Like we're just like, we're ready for the party. We're ready for the tailgate, even though we were kind of scared because we were like, yo, we're going to pull up to this stadium. It's not our stadium. And we're going to be like killed by the 49ers fans. But we're like, screw it. We're going to go. We're going to have a good time. So pick up a Rockley. He comes out. We go to like, first, you know, it starts off like chill. Like we go to get some lunch because we're hungry. And of course, if you didn't know, I got robbed and they took my ID. So I have a picture of my passport. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think to bring my passport. But like, I guess like the restaurant was in the casino and they wouldn't let me go. I'm like, come on, guys. Like I ain't here to gamble. But we're having good food, chilling, vibing. And then we go to the hotel. And I think that's when I really realized it's going to be a wild night. It's going to be a wild night. Rockley's friend comes to join us. Juan, love him. That's my boy. He's such a top 10, one of my favorite friends of Rockley's. Maybe top 5, Juan. Who knows? But, Carson, are you judging me? I see your face over there.
It's just funny you have like a ranking of your friends.
It's not my friends.
Your brother's friends.
It's my brother's friends.
That's so specific.
Well, there's people I prefer to be around, and I have a ranking for that of them.
But they like...
I wouldn't rank them 1, 2, 3. I just say top 5 favorite people out of my brother's friends. You know, you don't do that. You don't have people you would prefer to be around. Top 5 people you would prefer to be around. The world's ending tomorrow. Top 5 people. You don't know?
I'm saying you have it very specifically to a Rockley's friends. Like you have a list. You're like, like my brother's friends. Like you have this list.
Well, to be fair, I actually have a list for Lasha that's more precise.
That's what I'm saying. This is weird.
Well, when you're around them growing up, you really, and first of all, I was bullied by some of their friends. Like it really scars you a little bit. And you're like, you know, it wasn't until I actually grew up and like they started taking me serious. And I'm like, you know what? Like, you know, I don't like that friend. I actually wouldn't want you to come to Lasha's birthday or Rockley's birthday. Or if we were stuck, you'd be the last person I would want. I have a list, top 5. Juan made that top 5. He should feel #blessed. So anyways, so I was like, all right, we're going, still kind of vibes aren't like crazy. We're chilling. I guess the tired. Then we get to the game. Holy, I don't know. Like, I guess we played Charlie XCX and Billie Eilish because I was ready to go. I was ready to go. So, yeah. So basically, I'm like, okay, fans are going, we're in green, vibes are going, we're vibing, and we're getting a bunch of drinks. I'm gonna say a fun fact about me. I'm not a beer girl. I love Coronas. Don't get me wrong. I love them on a hot day, pool, beach, whatever it is. But like, I wouldn't, or like very rarely, I'm like, I'm craving a beer. Like if I'm at like a bar, maybe, but I'm not really like a beer girl. So I'm like, let's get a mixed drink. No. Sorry, they don't make good mixed drinks. So then I stuck to the claws. And then we just started getting wild. Well, the Jets are like losing. I'm trying to understand, like, why do they suck? Like, what is going on? They were winning and now what's going on? And this is just like, and I've watched my fair share of games with my brother and I'm just like, why do they suck all the time? Like, I'm asking like all these people, why do they suck? Tell me, I want to know because I watch football, but like, I'm not like a rocker, let me tell you. But like, Like hockey is my sport. Hockey I freaking love. I could tell you the rules. I watch it. I like get into it. I'm like, yeah. But this, I'm like, I'm trying to understand. And I'm just not getting it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to support you. I got you. We're jumping around. At one point, we got people judging us in the back because me and Kezia are like, I don't even know what they were looking at. I'm like, we're going crazy. Then just another little FYI. I texted Kezia that morning. I said, if I don't get a soft pretzel with cheese, I might throw hands. That's all I wanted. Honestly, like for food, I was craving mac and cheese. I was craving like a burger. I was craving a pretzel with, like, if you know me, I could eat, but a good, like, we're not talking like gross bread. We're talking like good quality beer cheese, any cheese, but beer cheese, fire. So I was just like, okay, this is what I want. So we're at the stadium, we're vibing. Keep saying that, but I'm trying the best to vibe. Then the fun just starts going. We just start going crazy. Like after like the second half, we're just like, wow, like we're like literally like meeting new people, taking random phones with strangers. Like I'm over here like just like being loud, how I am. I'm making friends, and then the game's over. Obviously, shocker, the Jets. They lost. What else is new? But, we still showed up. We end up saying, like, let's go out downtown. Let's go get dinner. Let's go to a bar. What do you really do on a Monday night in, like, San Jose? But, we went to a bar. We met. So then we went to, like, dinner in a bar. So we meet these, like, first we meet two, like, this amazing couple. And they're, like, chilling. They're in Jets jerseys in this bar. And I'm like, yo, you hungry? Like, why don't you eat with us? So now it's like this whole family dinner. We're hanging out, having a good time. And then this is when the story gets crazy. Like one thing I always say, I have wild stories, but I feel like when I'm with Kezia specifically, there's never a dull moment. Like there's just never like, we're menaces and the crazy finds us. So me and Kezia, we're literally like, my brother just goes missing with Juan and they're like going to get something. And I'm like, Kezia, like this is the best time to film this TikTok. Like we're filming a TikTok. And all of a sudden, some guy comes up to me and goes like, I'm drunk. Like while I'm filming and I'm drunk. Like, I don't know like where my friends are, like, but like plastered. I don't know where my hotel, please get me back to my hotel, like slurring, like literally like lost in the sauce. And I'm like filming, then I'm like, he's like, no, please don't film. And I'm like, oh my God, like he's serious. Like I thought like maybe, and I'm looking at Kezia and we put our phones down. We're like in like, we're locked in. And I'm looking at him though, cause I'm like, I don't know, raised in a like very, like I'm raised from, like I'm from New York. Like I'm like cautious right now about this stranger. Like, I talk to strangers all the time, but like, I'm also cautious of strangers too. So he's like, oh, like my brother's nowhere to be found with Juan. And I'm like, okay, this guy's coming up to two girls and it's like 11 o'clock at night. We're like in like jerseys. So he's like, please, like just take me back to my hotel. And I look at Kezia and I go, sounds like a sex trafficking tactic to me. Like take me back to my hotel. She's like, no, I think he's serious. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this one. So then I'm like, all right, if you feel good about it, let's do it. So he like puts his arm around me. I'm carrying this man to, and then we find, this is where we lock in with me right now. He goes, I have a game tomorrow. I'm like, a game? What game? He's like, I'm an umpire in MLB. And I'm like, MLB? What? And I'm like, this is just so crazy. Like, this is wild to me. Like, he's like, yeah, like I have a game. Like, and just for like, I really want to, like, I'm going to say it eventually, but like, not going to keep saying his name because like, I want to protect my man. But like, he says his name. And I'm like, that is just so like professional for someone so young. Like the name is like, imagine like me saying my name is Gertrude. It's just like, I was like in shock. I was like, that's okay. So not expect that name, like maybe a nickname, like, I don't know. But It was like a very professional, sophisticated name for the state that he was in. So I was like, oh, okay. So he puts his arm around me. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm carrying this man to the point where we see my brother and Juan. And Araka's like, what is going on? I'm like, this man is drunk. And then he realizes he's not kidding. So, but still carrying him by myself. Like, this guy's barely walking. Like, he's just dragging. I'm like, okay, God, is anyone gonna help me? I'm like, Araka, are you gonna help me? So we're like both carrying him. I just, I really am big on the no, if it, no pick, then it didn't happen. You want to like show him really fast? This is the photo of the proof of me and my brother bonding with a random stranger and just like really bringing him home. Isn't that so cute? Brother sister moment. Here's another one. This is much more clearer. Hold on, guys. Stay tuned. Look at how cute. Like, we look like you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When, I don't know how the rest of the song goes, but we like look like Toy Story up in this bitch. Like, we're like, who? Come on. Like, it doesn't get better than that. So we're like homies over here. So we're like helping him. We like walk 20 blocks. At one point, this is the best part. Love Juan, but like, I was like, at one point, Juan wants to take a shortcut. And we go to this shortcut and you have to jump. I'm like, this guy ain't jumping. This guy can barely freaking walk. What do you mean you're gonna make him jump? He's like, I can't do it. So we're walking. At one point I thought we lost him and then I just really I look at him. I go, you need to get to the hotel. I need you to get to the hotel. He goes, right. And my brother's like on this other side of him. And he goes, you're so beautiful. I want to take you home. And I was like, I'm like playing with I'm like, I'll let you take me home. You just need to get to the home. Like, let's go. And then I'm like, at one point, like, he's like, okay. He's just looking at me. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, Rocco, he's looking at me. Like, just like, I can't help it. And then like, I will say one thing about my man. We're going to call him Gertrude. That's all. I'm not going to, out of respect. I don't think it matters, but he's really precise with not having anyone, He's probably embarrassed right now. So Gertrude is like, just picture like all the crazy names for like a sophisticated person and old person, but this person is the complete opposite. So like, it's like Benjamin. Why not Benny? Like, that's a great example. Like, think of someone going Benjamin. Just say Benny. Like, for someone that's like fun. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe I'm crazy. You know the name. How crazy is that name coming out of the story? I'm telling you right now. Like, it's a wild thing. So then my man Benjamin has like, and I might just use Benjamin as the name because honestly, like having to say this fully, he wanted us to say the full name. I'm like, so Benjamin, I'm like, your lashes are so nice. He's like, thank you. You're so beautiful. I'm like, okay, we need to get him home. Barely walking. He's like slurring. At one point, he just like drops, but me and my brother are holding him. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my gym workout. I didn't go to the gym this morning. This is my gym workout. So we're carrying him. We finally get to the hotel. He's like, hey girl, to like the front reception. So I was like, I guess we're at the right place. I guess he's not lying. So I'm asking Benjamin, I'm like, what's your phone password? And Cassie and Rock are like yelling at me, Teona, that's such an invasion of privacy. I'm like, I need to know what we're dealing with right now. I need to know. And they're like, what? I'm like, I need to know, like, who is this person? Like, and they're like, Teona, you can't do that. I'm like, I need to know. They're like, you're taking advantage of him. I'm like, I could have taken advantage of him. This guy's giving me his wallet like 16 blocks down. Like, who's trying? I saw that Amex in the freaking wallet. I could have stole it. I got robbed. I know how it feels. I didn't want to do that to him. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, the least he could do is give me his phone password because I'm still sitting there like, this is a tactic. Have you not seen like, what is that movie? Lost? What is it? The one where you like his daughter goes on vacation, but like, I will find you and I will kill you. Like, you know the movie. Yeah, you know it. So you guys all know it. So we get him to the hotel. I'm like tired, low key. Like I'm like already at this point, like, all right, like I've exhausted myself. I mean, carrying someone 20 blocks down where your brother's not even like my brother would like help him. I was, Rocky, you gonna help me? So I think he was testing my strength to make sure, like, you know, you got this, girl. So then we get into the hotel room. There's 2 beds and it's like a nice hotel room. I'm like, all right, maybe he's not lying. He's like, you guys should stay. Yeah, hold on. Let me just stay on that. He's like, I have another bed for y'all. I'm like, no, I'm not staying here. But then he starts getting like sick. And so like, this is where T-Money does not, I don't do blood. I don't do throw up. Like I just, ugh. So I'm like, all right, guys, I'm clocked out. So Rockland and Kezia are in the bathroom with him, helping him like do his thing. So I go to the opposite bed and I lay down. And then I feel someone wake me up and but actually, I don't actually feel that. I don't actually remember this part, but Kezia apparently tells me that, Teona, you need to wake up. There's 3 men here, which I don't remember. I don't remember that. So I then, you know, apparently she told me, I don't know what the time of this happened where I finally wake up and I see 3 men staring at me on this bed and no one is nowhere to be found. My friends, I'm like, they were in the bathroom, but I couldn't process that because there is just 3 men staring at me, looking at me, and I don't have what they want. So I'm like, I knew this was a sex tactic, a sex trafficking tactic. I was like, I knew it wasn't crazy. Where are my people? They couldn't have gotten my brother. My brother? Like, I'm like, out of everyone, like, Kezia has a knife. I'm like, there's no way. Like, she got this breakfast knife. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, oh my God. And then I hear them. I'm like, oh my God, we're okay. But just imagine, like, just staring at me. As if like I've like fucking Sleeping Beauty and I've risen finally. Like, where's my Prince Charming? I'm like, what the hell is going on? So then finally, like, their friends are there. Apparently, like, my brother, I'm crazy for wanting to get his phone password, but my brother got his phone password and called these people. And they were scared on the phone when, you know, they saw my brother answer. So they pull up to help Benjamin, and then almost spilled the tea. Benjamin. And so he's like, come to my game tomorrow. Come to my game. And I'm like, I'm like, we should just come to the game. I mean, like, I'm like, let's do it. He's not lying at this point. But then finally we leave the hotel. We get home and we leave the hotel to go to the other hotel, our hotel. And I'm like, let's watch a movie. Let's do it. The party didn't stop. Like, I guess we got this rush of energy, and then the energy stopped when we realized the hotel room only has 1 freaking channel. Like, okay. So then we all go to sleep. Something about me that's really special. So that's the first crazy story. I wish I could make this up, but we helped an MLB drunk person get to his hotel room, and I hope he freaking won that game. I hope he did. I didn't even look, but I hope he freaking won, because honestly, you know what? Jets fans aren't even that bad. That's what he said to us, and he should be proud because we weren't that bad. But we helped him. Guy could have, worse things could have happened. I always say something could have happened. With that wallet, he would have been robbed. So anyways, I wake up. Something about me that you need to know is I am a crackhead. I don't get tired. I get tired periodically throughout the day after the day, like I went hard the night before. But I wake up super early with a jolt of energy. So I'm over here doing like the Chris Brown dance at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, Kezia, look, I'm about to dive in. Whoa. And then I'm like, Criminal Minds is on. I don't do blood. And I'm looking at the show and I'm freaking out. And then this FBI scene comes on and I'm like, let me show you guys my FBI moves. I'm like running across the room, like doing flips and stuff. My brother's like, what is she on? So I'm like, guys, I know what we need. We need to get IHOP. It just felt like an IHOP hungover like meal. So before we drive Ironically to the airport, we go to IHOP. We're vibing. Pumpkin spice pancakes are back if you really wanted. Like it felt good. So then Ray Carson, you don't know this story. This is another story that's even like, again, I can't make this shit up. So I go, okay, guys, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. And there's a little, first of all, Kezia's convinced this story is like I never saw this girl. Like she had to have been a ghost because she was nowhere to be found in the diner after that. So I walk in and she's like sitting on the toilet with the door open. And she's talking to me and she's like, who are you here with? I was like, my brother. She's like, what are you getting to eat? And I'm like, okay, like I need to go into stall. So I go into stall. And so what does this little girl do? She takes her and goes under the stall. And she's like, are you going to the park after this? And I'm just like, what is going? And I text Cassia, there's a little girl under my stall talking to me. And I'm just like, what is going on? This has to be a joke. Like, this has to be. And then all of a sudden I see her, like someone comes in, it's her aunt. And I don't even know. She's like, close the door. And I'm like, I'm sitting here having her yelling at her, whoever this kid is. I'm like, again, I can't use the bathroom because I'm just like, this little girl's talking to me. So I go wash my hands and like just exit. And I'm telling them about the whole situation. And I'm like, they're like, let me see, like, where's the girl? We literally walked around the entire, she wasn't in the bathroom anymore. She wasn't in the diner. I'm like, what happened? Because he's like, this is a lie. Like, you're seeing things. I'm like, so then we drop off my brother. This is where the adventure continues. Something about me and Kezia is the adventure doesn't stop. We're both like, just like locked in. We're locked in. So one of the things me and Kezia always wanted to do is go to Big Sur. And we had an opportunity once because we were invited to San Fran, but we didn't go. And so like Big Sur is like basically next to, it's on the way back, but it's like it adds like an additional like 2 hours because you have to go through like, it's almost like the Amalfi Coast. It's not like you just get there. It's like circles, and then you have to go back around the same way. So we drop off my brother and she looks at me and she's like, all right, if we go straight home, it's going to take 5 hours. We'd be back by 4 o'clock. If we want to do Big Sur, it takes 2 hours. Put another hour to hang out. And then 5 hours after that. And we're like thinking about it. We're thinking about it. And I'm like, honestly, Kez, like, when are we ever, like, the way I see it, and this is why you have to have friends that are willing to have an adventure with you. I'm someone that just wants to knock it out. Even if I'm tired, I'm going to do it. Because you know what? Like I sat there and I was like, if we don't do it, we're going to have to plan to do it. Whereas we have an opportunity right now to do it. So we did it. And we go to Big Sur. Beautiful. And you know, people looked at us like we're crazy because they're taking pictures where all the basic people take pictures. Me and Kezia are like, we don't hike every morning for no reason. So we go down and people are staring at us like we're crazy because you actually could die. Jump off the cliff. Like it's like dangerous. It's almost like the Grand Canyon. Like they don't joke around. So I'm like, let's do it. We don't hike. Taking the best photos. We're doing good. We're having a great experience. We saw cows. I love cows, furry cows. Kezia, though, is crazier for cows. She loves them Highland cows. They're her spirit animal. Mine's are, so just remember, my spirit animal are horses. I freaking love horses. And, you know, this plays a role into the story. Remember that. So remember this. So whatever, we're doing this whole thing. And then on the way to Big Sur, she was mentioning to me about this thing called Carmel, like by the sea. And she was like, Carmel by the sea. And she was saying how like, it's this like cute little fairy tale town. But we passed it already. So when we were done with Big Sur, what we didn't realize is, again, you can't just go straight to LA. You'd have to go all the way back from Big Sur. Like where you went in, you have to come out of that way. So we would pass Carmel by the sea. She was like, why not just go there? Like another adventure. We're already going to get back late. Why don't we just add more time? And I'm like, let's freaking do it. Let's go get dinner. Like, let's do it. So we go to this place. So freaking cute. I'm not even kidding. Carmel by the Sea is like, I don't even know. Like it's literally like a fairy tale book. Like another picture, Carson, get it ready. Look how cute this house is. I felt like Snow White. Like, look how cute. I wish I could just like, what kind of house is that? So freaking cute. And like everyone has dogs here. Everyone like owns these dogs. And it was just a good time. So we had the best dinner. The best. I was full. When I don't want dessert, that's how satisfying. Because I want dessert all the time, no matter how good the food is. It was so freaking filling and satisfying. So then I also got these new drops for like my throat. Love them. Carmel by Sea. So this is when the story gets funny. Again, another adventure. So, but again, one thing about Kezia, she's locked in with me. Like we think the same. So I start driving to let her nap. And I see that we're like, we can like still hold off on gas. But what I'm not used to is like, you know, in the East Coast, you got rest stops and gas stations at every corner. Like you can be driving 100 miles, but there will still be a rest stop coming up. No. 200 miles, you got nothing. Not even one little fake gas station. So I start to see that we're running out of gas. And I'm like, Kezia, we're running out of gas. She's like, how? Like I was like, it's almost on empty. There is a gas station. We were 5 minutes away till the freaking car we had to pull over and it stopped and we ran out of gas. And I just looked at Kezia and I was like, well, you told me you always wanted to drive out of LA to look at the stars. It is literally 11 o'clock at night. No, at this point it was 9 o'clock, but it's pitch black. We're in front of a freaking ranch, a sketchy ranch with Christmas lights, but you can't see anyone. It's a farm. You got cornfields on the opposite side. We're not even at Bakersfield yet. I think Bakersfield is cursed. It's cursed me because every time I'm close to it or driving by it or I'm in Carson, the Bakersfield curse, bro.
We're in Lost Hills. It's not that close.
Well, hold up. So I'm like, you want to look at the stars? So we called AAA. And they are going to take an hour. They asked if we want highway patrol, but what we were scared about is like, but what if they're not cool? At this point, we could open up a beer, chill, look at the stars, and wait for like, but we're like, fine, get the highway patrol. We were thinking about it because we're like, you know, I was like, yes, get your breakfast knife out. She got this thing, like, you know, and we're sitting on top of the waiting for AAA. You know, two girls, you've heard the stories, middle of nowhere on the highway, these truckers, but God is good. God is good. So we're sitting and we're like, you know, with our blankets, stargazing. It's actually really cute. It was a really nice night. And it's funny because she took a picture and sent it to her friend, and friend's like, why is Teona smiling? It's almost like she wanted to do this. And I go, oh, you wanted to see the stars. And so we're waiting for AAA. You have to make the most of it. This is when I really knew, again, there's been a lot of things that Kezia's shown me she's a real one. But this is just maybe top 10, top 5. Top 5. I'm gonna give it top 5 because we're on top 5. Top 5 moments where I was like, you're honestly cool. I fuck with you. You're locked in. Because like, if you ask anyone that we've told this story to, they're like, Teona, we would have been screaming at you. And I was like, honestly, I'm surprised that I was calm. She was calm. We're just taking the best of it. We got to wait for AAA anyway. Let's just look at the stars. And it was like, just very calm. Very few people can tell you that they're going to be calm. And one thing I've noticed as I gotten older, I lack this. I used to lack like calmness. Like I would be like screaming and like freaking out and like crazy. And now I'm just like, same thing when my car got robbed. Like Brian Azell thought that I was too calm. And I'm like, could be worse. It really could be worse. And I'm just like, she's locked in with me. She's like, we're good. So we're chilling. And then all of a sudden she sees a shadow. She keeps her mouth shut. And then I say, you see that horse shadow? And she's like, yes, I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to scare you. I kid you not. This horse shadow, anytime a car, but it's like, we're trying to see why. It was getting closer and closer too. It was freaky. It was a little creepy little thing. It's like, she said it was my omen. It was my chakra. Like this freaking horse shadow would keep coming closer and closer. And I'm like, oh my God, am I seeing this? But we're still calm. The guy AAA comes, puts the gas in. We're back on the road. We're vibing. We just need to get home. Again, another story that when I told Cindy, I love you, Cindy, if you're watching this, but when I told Cindy this story, she's like, I don't even blink an eye anymore. I just know you guys. Like, especially like, she's like, Teona, you show like after like when, because we went to Italy together and she was like, after seeing you run away from cops Carson, you don't know this story. I in Italy, I really wanted to jump on carousels and just like be crazy. But a cop started chasing me because you can't do that. No one was on the carousel though. And I was like, I want to like start doing flips and shit. And this Cindy I was like, Cindy, you don't know me. She don't know me. But this cop's like, but I'm like, she was like, after that, like seeing like how you reacted with that, like nothing really shocks me. So I was like, yeah, nothing shocks her. So she's what I'm saying, like, but she's like, but now like what I'm noticing is like you and Kezia, like nothing really shocks me. Like you guys, like we're so locked in, just like the crazy. Like, so it was an adventure. I'm all for it. Like, bad decision calls for good stories. So we got home safely and we knocked out. And yes, the next day I had to record. Carson chose an amazing day and we had a great time too. That's my man. Love him in the back. I want to give him a huge shout out after this story. Like we're fine, we're safe. But that was why I had to change. We'll give you a shout out in a second, but this is why I had to really just like say I had a motivational speech, a motivational lesson, an idea, but crazy came life. Rah! So there you go. That is my whole freaking Talks with T. But I just want to shout out Carson. I love him so much. The next day we recorded, it was beautiful. And I just love you, Carson, because we record now, we're here, we're doing the podcast, and no matter how crazy the stories I tell him, because I tell him crazy stories and sometimes he gets concerned. He told me to stop going. He doesn't want me going to strange people's cars anymore. I promised him I wouldn't do that. I was safe back then too. That's another story for another time. But like I said, he's literally, no matter what I tell him, he's there for me, supports me, he loves me, and we keep hustling, grinding and working, grinding, keep going. Yes. And it just doesn't stop because he loves me. That's my man. And I love him so freaking much because as much as this is going to go crazy, you could stop the car now. I just love him. So if you love him, that's my guy right there. That's my dude. That's my omen. So that's not the horse. But like I said, like crazy loves crazy. That's my man. Thank you so much for watching Talks with T. Maybe next week you'll get a motivational speech. You like that ending, right?